Alright guys, first movie I have was this is the first feature role that Daniel Stern ever did, which was Breaking Away. This movie's actually out of print, worth a little bit of money on eBay. Came out in 1979 when it won an Academy Award, which was pretty cool because Daniel Stern's very first movie won a freaking Academy Award, so that's cool. And yeah, this is a pretty good movie about cycling and everything. Yeah. And the next movie he did came out in 1982, which was the movie Dinner. And this has a whole bunch of cool actors in it and everything. Mickey Rourke, let's see, Kevin Bacon's in there. Paul Reiser's in there. That's pretty cool. I didn't even realize that. He was in Mad About You. And yeah, this is the snapback version that I have, which is pretty cool. I always like the snapback versions. That's a pretty cool picture of Daniel Stern getting messed with by the cops. Pretty cool. And then I also have this, which I got from a video store, is this huge, cool looking VHS box, which is the original cover. And you guys all remember these. It's pretty cool I have this thing, and it's still in the wrapper and everything. That was the second movie he did. And then I have this movie here called Blue Thunder. Roy Schneider in Blue Thunder. Daniel Stern has a pretty good part in this movie too, which came out in 1982. I got this thing in the dollar bin. I never even watched it yet, and I didn't even know it had Daniel Stern until I looked at that back picture right there. So, being a collector and a fan of his movies, gotta have that one. And then the next movie I have is CHUD, Chud, this old school horror movie. He was pretty funny in this one too, I gotta admit. And this is a pretty good movie. Cannibalistic, humanoid, underground dwellers hanging out in the sewer. Daniel Stern's in it. This one came out in 1984. Yeah, and this was out of print for a while. I'm pretty sure it's out of print still. They might have re-released it though. And he did Hannah and the Sisters in 1986, a Woody Allen movie, which also has a crap load of actors in it, including Michael Caine, Diane West. Who the hell's that? Well, I guess Woody Allen is the only one I know. Michael Caine, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Michael Caine's cool. But yeah, Daniel Stern has a pretty small role in this movie that Woody Allen did. He was also in another Woody Allen movie, but I'll show the movies that I don't have in my collection at the end of this, and just we'll go through every movie that Daniel Stern did. And then, of course, in 1987, he came out with one of my all-time favorite movies, Born in East LA, where he's just in Mexico and he helps out Cheech when he goes to get stuck in jail in Mexico and stuff. Pretty funny movie. I like Daniel Stern's really good in this movie too. I really liked him in this one, but great movie. And in 1989, he came out with he was in this movie called Leviathan. Leviathan. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not, but he was in this movie. This is a cool science fiction alien under the ocean type of movie. Pretty cool. I don't remember exactly what part he had in this, but he did that one in 1989, and he also did one of my favorite movies as a kid, Little Monsters, with Howie Mandel and Fred Savage, another movie that's out of print and worth a little bit on eBay. Pretty good movie. I loved this one when I was a kid. This is a great movie. 89. And this is kind of a rare movie to find. I think I saw this on eBay for going for a little bit of money too. But it's a, what is this? Coupe de Ville, maybe? Old school movie, came out in what year? 1990 by MGA Universal Pictures put this one out. Pretty cool that I have this in my collection. I don't remember ever seeing this on DVD, but I never really check. I just know it's out in the stores. I never see this movie. And this is a pretty cool movie. This is kind of like the Dinner movie. It's like a bunch of, you know, high schoolers or college kids just kind of out on the road hanging out as buddies and friends and crap. And yeah, glad I have this Daniel Stern one. That's kind of a harder one to find. And it even came from the video store that was going out of business, and that's why it looks like this. But I still have it, cover and all, even though the sides are kind of swiped. And of course, everyone remembers Home Alone, the first one, with him and Joe Pesci were just outstanding. This is probably the first movie anyone, even if you're like an 80s or a 90s kid, or mainly an 80s kid, because if you're a 90s kid, you were just being born when this movie came out. But yeah, we all remember this one. This is a great one, and this is probably the first Daniel Stern one I seen as a kid, where he was like, oh man, it's Daniel Stern, you know? He's a pretty funny guy. And it even has the same pictures that were in the VHS tape on the back of the DVD, so that's really cool. I like when they keep the original pictures like that. And he also was in this movie with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis called My Blue Heaven. I got the snapback case of this. That's not really that exciting of a picture. But pretty cool snapback one. Daniel Stern isn't like the main star in this, but he has a pretty little role or something, if I remember correctly. And now, the next year after those two movies, 1991, he came out with City Slickers, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I could watch this movie. I've watched this movie probably 30 times in my lifetime. I know I have. This is just a great, great movie. And I have this version, and then I have this version right here, the collector's edition, with couple different special features. Oh, deleted scenes. That's really cool on there. So yeah, this came out in 1991, and yeah. And then the next year after that, 1992, Daniel Stern came out with Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Great movie right here. And everybody's in this movie. Joe Pesci, even Rob Schneider has a little role in this movie as the one of the bellhop dudes. And this is just an awesome movie. Daniel Stern is Daniel Stern in this movie. And I love that he, as an actor, is Daniel Stern. You know, it's just Daniel Stern. You know, he has that same personality, the same tall, clumsy guy role who's like over like angry all the time and everything like that. And that's why I love Daniel Stern. And then in 1993, another one of my favorite movies of all time, Rookie of the Freakin' Year. Oh man, this was my favorite movie as a kid. If I watched City Slickers like 30 times, I had to have watched this over like 30, 40 times when I was a kid, for sure. Oh man, I wanted to be a pitcher. Daniel Stern, he has a kind of a small part in here. He's just like, you know, Daniel Stern, the clumsy like baseball player who never actually gets to play in a game, I think. And yeah, he's pretty funny in this too. And this one's kind of different because when I was a kid, I remember, whoa, Daniel Stern wearing glasses in this movie, you know what I mean? And that was kind of different because you never see him wear glasses. And then 1 year after that, guys, in 1994, City Slickers 2 came out. And I was pretty pleased with this movie. I loved the City Slickers, the first one. And you know what? You can't even say, I mean, always the first one's the best one, but still, you know, it's City Slickers 2 with all the same actors, and they even threw in freaking Jon Lovitz, which just made this movie even better. The whole beginning of this movie, when Jon Lovitz, it's like at the job, and he's at their house, and it's just great. And this is just a great movie of City Slickers 2. Love this movie. Daniel Stern, I love Daniel Stern's part in the first one because he really acted about how he lost his wife. And remember, at the end of the movie, he has that gun in City Slickers 1. And he like, those punks like try to control him. And then Daniel Stern kind of sticks up for everyone. And then he's like, and I have this, what does he say? He's like, and I got this rash on my ass, or something like that. It's really funny, though. But City Slickers 2, great movie, 1994. And then, right when I was a kid getting older, 1 year later, Daniel Stern does it again. Did it for me. I remember I rented and had this movie and watched this movie over and over and over and over again. And this is just a great 90s movie. This is what I remember when I was a kid about the 90s, because my brother, he was in Boy Scouts, and all the friends in this movie and the kids in this movie were the same exact kids that I used to hang out with, and had that same attitude and everything like that. And this was a great movie. Daniel Stern plays a guy who's like wrongfully accused, and he ends up taking this Boy Scout trip, and he knows nothing about nature or anything. And he's pretty much in charge of, like, I think it's like 4 or 6 kids or something like that. But great movie, one of my favorite movies of all time. And that's why, you know, you got to have every Daniel Stern movie in your collection, or I do. That's how I think. If there's a Daniel Stern movie I don't have, I'm going to get that shit. And Bushwhacked, great movie. Love that movie. And then the year following after that, 1997, he did Celtic Pride, which was actually a PG-13 movie, which was kind of a change, because in the early 90s, Daniel Stern did like mainly kids movies and stuff like that. And this was the first like PG-13 one he did in a while. And great movie. You know what? I didn't like this movie when it came out, but then when I got older, I watched this movie like, I think this year, like 2 times. And it's a really great movie because, you know, there's no actors like Daniel Stern anymore, you know, and he's not really doing that many movies. But this was a great movie where they end up taking one of the basketball players, Damon Wayans, hostage, and it's really funny. And Daniel Stern is just, it's Daniel Stern, man. Great movie. And then the year following after that, 1998, Daniel Stern did this movie. I think it was like a Disney Channel movie. Yeah, it was. It was a Disney Channel movie. This movie isn't available on DVD from my knowledge, and this tape actually goes for a lot of money on eBay, surprisingly, which I'm going to show you guys in a couple movies from now. And 1998, Tourist Trip. I had this movie in last night on my VCR, but I didn't really pay attention to it, and I'm probably going to give this thing a watch later today, because it's a really great movie. They're all on a trip, the family and everything, and here, let me actually show you guys the pictures on that, if you can see them. But yeah, this is a great movie. I didn't know how rare this one was, and it's actually a Disney movie, so that's kind of cool. And another movie that also came out in 1998 was Very Bad Things, which I was really happy about this movie. This is a great movie. Daniel Stern being Daniel Stern in a rated R way. So that's always really fun to see, because he actually kind of stretched his normally PG-13 type of movies in this movie, and he's actually getting angry and cussing and everything, so that's kind of funny to see Daniel Stern doing that. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time, too. This is just a great movie about these guys who hire this hooker in the hotel room before the bachelor party, or the night of the bachelor party, and the hooker ends up getting killed accidentally by one of them. And it's just a disaster after that. So great movie there. And I don't have a movie that came out in 1999, it looks like, but I do have a movie that came out in the year 2000. And like I always say, or maybe I didn't say, but Daniel Stern to me had his prime in the 90s, for real. He controlled that whole 90s. And then after that, I don't know what happened to Daniel Stern. It doesn't seem like I have many movies of him after that I liked. But Dead Simple was kind of, you know, he's actually the star of this movie. He plays a main role in this movie, and it's kind of a thriller. He went to try out for like a thriller movie, and he did all right. He's still Daniel Stern. He's still that angry, tall guy that you love and everything. But, you know, this movie wasn't all that, but it's a good movie just because it's Daniel Stern. And this movie, I think, is out of print, too. And this movie was under a different title than Dead Simple, which maybe it came out in another country before it hit America. I don't know. But I had a hard time looking this movie up. It's under a different name that I forgot. Oh, it's Viva Slauson Nowhere. That's the original title for this. But still a good movie in 2000. And then in the year, a long ways actually, 2009, 9 years later, is the next movie that I have from Daniel Stern. So what the hell happened to Daniel Stern in those 9 years? I have no freaking clue. But yeah, he came out with Otis. I never really tried to watch this movie. I don't know why I just couldn't watch this movie. I'm probably going to have to definitely watch this movie, though, because I can't really say anything about it. It is a weird movie. And I'm gonna give this movie a try, actually, now that I'm doing this video. I think this is on my next list to watch. And so the next thing I have up to show you guys is the rest of the movies that Daniel Stern did and the movies that go for money on eBay. So here we go. Alright guys, so we'll start in order with some movies that I was really surprised to find that he was even in. And you know, he probably has a smaller part in these movies, which is why I don't have these movies in my collection, or they might be just out of print. So he was in A Small Circle of Friends that came out in 1980. He was also in this movie called Starting Over with Burt Reynolds and I don't know, there's two chicks that I don't know who the hell they are. And then also, this is the other Woody Allen movie that he was in. He had a small part role in Stardust Memories. Whoops, sorry. And then he was in another movie in 1980, small role in My Turn with, looks like, Michael Douglas, I think. And then he was in this weird movie in 1983 that I probably wouldn't even want to have, called Get Crazy. It's just like a musical, I don't know, rock movie or some crap. Not really even a movie. And then in 1985, he was in Key Exchange. And then 1986, he was in this movie called My Boss's Wife. Really want to find that one. And then he had a little part in DOA with Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan. And then check these movies out, guys. I looked at this on eBay, and the VHS freaking tape is going for $90. And it's even like a yellow kind of tape, which is really cool. I so freaking want Weekend War, which was in 1988. Oh man, I really want that movie so bad. I'm gonna be on the hunt for that one, guys. I have to have that one. And there's another picture right there. And then he was in 1989. He did this movie called Friends, Lovers, and Lunatics, which is another movie I would love to have in my collection with Daniel Stern for sure. And then he did this TV movie in 1990. Sorry about that. Called sorry about that. What the freak? The Court Martial of Jackie Robinson, a TV movie, which I really would love to have that movie in my collection too. And then in 1991, he was in an episode of Three Guys in a Comic Book, if you guys remember that episode, really good Simpsons episode. He was the narrator voice on this episode. And I guess in 2006, he was in a movie called The Last Time with Michael Keaton, Brandon Fraser. Not a movie I'd probably have in my collection, but, you know, it's Daniel Stern. Maybe I'll buy it if it's in the dollar bin. And then he was in a movie called, this movie right here, guys. I could not find this movie, even downloadable on the internet. It was even hard to buy. And it's this movie in 2008 called A Previous Engagement. Where he's in and he's kind of older, and I really want to see that movie. I just want to know how to find it. And Whip It, you know, I don't know if he had a big part in Whip It. Whip It isn't a movie that I'd probably have in my collection unless it's like in the dollar bin. And then he also was in this TV movie called Battle of the Bulbs. It was like a Christmas movie. Really want to find that one and have that one in my collection right there, because that looks like a really funny movie. The same type of movies that I love having in my collection. And he was in The Next 3 Days, which I thought that I had this Kurt Russell movie, but apparently I don't, in 2010. And then he was in The Christmas Story 2 in 2012. Which, this movie was pretty funny. I like that movie, and I should have that in my collection. Alright, guys, now we're on eBay. I typed in Daniel Stern movies, and I don't know why in the hell that double feature one is out of print or something, and it's going for $103. I have no idea. That might be a joke, or I don't know. It could be out of print. Who knows? But that one tape right here, guys, for 67... Oh, whoa. So it is like 80 freaking bucks, and it's only coming from freaking Australia. going for $67.12 plus $12.82, which makes it like $80 pretty much. What the freak? What the freak? Really want that movie. Let's see, guys. Little Monsters is out of print. $55.99. Whoa. I got that one. And then that weird second release version is like, 30-something bucks. And there's my Coupe de Ville DVD right there, but it's going for like 33 bucks. Looks like the Vault series finally released that. They do a lot of movies that were on VHS tape and never went to DVD. So I really want to get that one too. Key Exchange, that one's going for 30 bucks. Wow. Bushwhacked, I don't know, is that one out of print? Why is that going for that much? There's Christmas Story 2. And there's my Bulbs movie also going for like 30 bucks. Which I really want to get that movie, but that's a lot of money. But that was my Daniel Stern collection, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. And, Dinner came out on Blu-ray. Might have to get that. But yeah, guys. There's that Michael Douglas one. Need that one, but 25 freaking bucks. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to do a little bit more effort in my video this time than doing it all half-assed and stuff, so I could really focus on Daniel Stern. And when people click this video, they'll see at least 90%, 99% of the movies that he was in or had. And he was also, he did a couple voices on the Hey Arnold show, I remember too. But yeah, that was Daniel Stern, guys. And next actor up is, who knows? It'll be someone. Maybe Michael Douglas. Who knows? Till next time, guys.